Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep into the world of SpaceX today.
Oh, yeah?
Their Starship program specifically.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this CNBC article about the sixth test flight.
Okay.
We're talking taller than the Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
Crew and cargo beyond Earth.
Ambitious.
This latest test reached space.
Nice.
It traveled halfway around the world,
Oh, wow.
and they even tested a new heat shield.
That's impressive.
What's fascinating is we're seeing Starship evolve in real time with each flight.
Yeah, it's remarkable how SpaceX is completely transforming space travel.
Right.
It's not just like small improvements here and there.
Mhm.
They want to completely change how we think about going to space.
Yeah.
Starship is designed to be fully reusable,
Okay.
to make space flights more frequent and less expensive.
So, like,
You think about it like the change from horse-drawn carriages
oh, okay.
to commercial air travel.
Got it. So this sixth test flight
Yeah,
launched in Texas.
right.
Booster splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico.
Controlled splashdown.
Yep.
And Starship landed in the Indian Ocean.
After going halfway around the world,
Yeah.
it's really something to see.
It is. Even when you follow all this stuff,
Yeah.
it's still impressive to see the actual video.
It's amazing how quickly they're developing this thing.
Yeah.
6 test flights.
In a little over a year.
Yeah, just over a year.
Each one building on what they learned before.
Exactly.
This one was really about gathering data
Mm-hmm.
and pushing the limits of that new heat shield design,
Absolutely.
which is obviously super important for coming back into the atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. Gotta survive those temperatures.
So lots of power on this thing,
Oh, yeah.
but what are they actually going to do with it?
Well, their goals are huge.
Yeah.
It's going to be a key player in NASA's Artemis program.
So back to the moon.
Yep, back to the moon.
Okay.
But they're looking even further.
To-
Mars,
Oh, wow.
and even deeper into the solar system.
That's ambitious.
Imagine
Yeah.
regular and reliable
And relatively affordable.
access to space. It could change everything.
It could, our understanding of the universe,
Yeah.
open up all sorts of new possibilities.
I'm not just talking about sending robots up there.
No, definitely not.
SpaceX wants to send people,
To build a real presence beyond Earth.
yeah, research, exploration, maybe even.
Colonization, eventually.
It's a big vision.
Definitely. And to do it, they're taking on some massive engineering challenges.
Like what?
Well, remember that near miss during the 5th flight?
With the booster.
Yeah, the booster almost missed the landing platform.
Yeah.
Showed how complex this whole system is,
Mm-hmm.
but also how committed SpaceX is to learning and adapting.
They did make some upgrades for this flight, right?
Yes, for this 6th flight,
Okay.
including improvements to redundancy and structural strength.
They kept talking about commit criteria during the live stream.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, it's like this super strict checklist.
It has to be perfect before they even try to land that booster back on the tower.
And this time,
Didn't meet all the criteria.
so, splashdown in the Gulf?
A safer option.
It does show how much they prioritize safety.
Yeah, even as they're pushing the limits.
So let's get into the specs for a minute.
Okay, get geeky.
This thing is gigantic.
Yeah, it is.
397 feet tall with the booster.
30 feet wide.
Yeah, about 30 feet in diameter.
And that height, it's not just for show.
Right, it's because of that reusable design.
The booster separates and lands back on Earth.
It's like something out of a movie.
It really is.
And the engines.
Oh, yeah.
The booster has 33 Raptor engines.
33.
Can you believe that?
And they generate 16.7 million pounds of thrust.
That's twice the power of NASA's Space Launch System.
It's mind-boggling.
And to get this thing off the ground,
They need over 10 million pounds of fuel,
liquid oxygen and liquid methane.
like filling your car a lot of times.
A lot of times.
And the methane
Yeah.
not only provides powerful thrust,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also a cleaner alternative.
Then some of the traditional fuels.
Another example of SpaceX's forward thinking.
It was interesting to see President-elect Trump at the launch.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
It reminded me of when he was at SpaceX's first crewed launch.
Back in 2020.
Yeah, it seems like he's still interested in commercial space ventures.
Definitely.
So we've talked about the technical stuff
The goals?
and this successful 6th test flight,
Mm-hmm.
but we're just getting started.
This is just the beginning.
What stands out to you about the impact Starship could have?
I think the biggest thing is how it could democratize access to space.
What do you mean?
Reusable rockets, like Starship.
Okay.
They could really bring down launch costs,
I see.
which would open up space to so many more possibilities.
Like what?
More research, more exploration, even commercial activities.
So not just the big players anymore.
Exactly. Universities, smaller organizations, maybe even private individuals.
Wow. That's a big shift.
It's like the early days of the internet.
Where only a few people could get online.
Yeah. But now we have widespread connectivity.
So SpaceX isn't just building a rocket.
Right.
They're building a whole transportation system.
A platform for a future where humanity is more present in space.
And that leads to a big question.
Okay.
Are we ready for that?
That's a good question.
I'll explore that more when we come back.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it definitely sparks a lot of debate.
Yeah.
Some people think we should focus on problems here on Earth before we go too far into space.
Right.
Others argue that space exploration actually helps us solve problems here.
By driving innovation.
Exactly, leading to technological advances.
It's like that old argument.
About going to the moon during the space race.
When we had so many problems here at home.
Right, but all the tech developed for Apollo
Yeah.
had huge impacts on so many industries.
Computing, materials, science.
All sorts of things.
So, looking at the bigger picture.
Space exploration isn't just about science or planting flags.
It's about pushing our limits.
Expanding our horizons.
Securing a future for humanity beyond this planet.
Exactly.
And speaking of pushing limits.
SpaceX is doing that with Starship.
Yeah, the pace of development is incredible.
A few years ago.
Landing a rocket booster seemed like science fiction.
And now
You're doing it regularly.
And they want even more reusability with Starship.
It's remarkable.
It really shows their drive.
And their willingness to take risks.
Calculated risks, of course.
They understand that failure is part of the process.
It gives them data.
To improve their designs.
That's what sets them apart.
They're not afraid to try new things.
And to learn from mistakes.
6 test flights in just over a year.
Getting closer to being operational every time.
And once it is operational.
The possibilities are amazing.
Right.
Think about scientific research.
Right.
We could have permanent bases on the moon and Mars.
Wow.
Doing experiments.
Gathering data we could never get from Earth.
Imagine the discoveries.
Evidence of past life on Mars.
Resources to help us live in space.
It's mind-blowing.
And beyond research.
Starship could help us live beyond Earth.
Transporting people and resources.
Building outposts.
Mining operations.
Maybe even colonies.
Self-sustaining colonies on other planets.
It sounds like science fiction.
But it's getting more plausible all the time.
Could we see humans living on other planets in our lifetime?
It's a very real possibility.
But it also raises some big questions.
About our future as a species.
Are we ready for that kind of change?
What challenges will we face?
How will we adapt to life beyond Earth?
These are exciting questions.
And a little daunting.
But one thing's for sure.
SpaceX is pushing the boundaries.
Inspiring a new generation.
Of scientists, engineers, dreamers.
They're dedicated to pushing the envelope.
And it's not just about technical achievements.
They're changing how we explore space.
Showing that private companies can play a big role.
Absolutely.
And there are economic implications, too.
New industries.
Jobs.
Innovation in all sorts of sectors.
Think about the technology that could come out of Starship.
Advanced materials.
Propulsion systems.
Life support tech.
It could have big implications for our lives here on Earth.
Helping us with energy, transportation, sustainability.
So space exploration isn't just about looking outward.
It's about finding solutions for problems here at home.
The benefits are huge.
And it shows how important it is to invest in space.
But we also need to be responsible.
Think about the ethical and societal implications.
This powerful technology.
We need to use it wisely.
We need to consider the environmental impact.
Make sure everyone has access to space resources.
Establish guidelines for human activity on other planets.
International cooperation will be key.
And a strong ethical framework.
As we venture further into the cosmos.
It's a complex situation.
With both benefits and risks.
We need to remember that space exploration is a journey.
Not just a destination.
That there will be challenges.
Setbacks. Tough decisions.
But if we work together,
thoughtfully and collaboratively,
we can make sure this journey benefits everyone.
I agree.
So let's focus on one specific aspect that often sparks debate.
What's that?
The role of government in commercial space exploration.
Yes, that's an interesting one.
Especially with President-elect Trump at the Starship launch.
Yeah, it was definitely noteworthy.
Shows continued interest from the government.
in these commercial space ventures.
Just like when he was at SpaceX's first crewed launch,
Back in 2020.
it seems like more and more people recognize
That private companies like SpaceX are really important.
for advancing our space capabilities.
It's a big change from the old model.
Of government-led space programs.
Look at the Artemis program.
NASA and SpaceX working together.
It's a new era of space exploration.
And with the potential benefit.
Economic and technological.
I think we'll see even more government support.
In the years to come.
But this partnership also raises some questions.
About balancing the interests of private companies.
With the broader goals of space exploration.
How do we make sure everyone benefits?
Not just a few.
It's a tricky balance.
But crucial to get right.
As we move into this new era.
It requires open communication.
Careful thought.
And a shared commitment to responsible development.
Speaking of responsible development.
We should talk about the environment.
Yes, absolutely.
More space activity means more responsibility.
To minimize our impact on other planets.
SpaceX is already doing some things.
Like using liquid methane as fuel.
It's cleaner than some other options.
They've also said they want to minimize space debris.
Which is a growing problem.
As we launch more stuff into orbit.
It's a complex issue.
No easy answers.
But it's good that SpaceX is thinking about it.
It shows they care about environmental stewardship.
Let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
And talk about the cultural impact of Starship.
It's definitely sparked a lot of interest in space.
It's captured people's imaginations.
The scale of the project.
The ambitious goal.
It's brought back a sense of wonder about space travel.
It's almost like a new space race.
But it's not just about national pride this time.
It's about pushing human ingenuity.
Opening up new frontiers.
For exploration and discovery.
And it's not just scientists and engineers.
Artists, writers, filmmakers.
They're all inspired by Starship.
It's a cultural renaissance.
Making us think about our place in the universe.
And the future of humanity.
With every successful test flight.
Every step closer to making Starship operational.
That sense of wonder grows stronger.
It's an exciting time.
To be following space exploration.
It leaves us with so much to think about.
What challenges will we face?
How will our understanding of the universe change?
What will our future look like among the stars?
Big questions.
That will keep us captivated.
As we explore the mysteries of the cosmos.
And who knows what we'll find?
Maybe Starship will be the key.
To the next chapter.
Of humanity's journey beyond Earth.
It's an incredible journey.
And we're not done yet.
Let's take a moment to think about everything.
And when we come back,
we'll wrap up our deep dive into Starship.
And explore some final thoughts.
On its potential impact.
Okay, we're back, ready to wrap up our Starship deep dive.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating look at SpaceX's ambitions.
We've covered a lot.
Reusable rockets.
Lunar bases.
Martian outposts.
Even the idea of making space accessible to more people.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
So, looking back at everything, what are the key takeaways?
I think the biggest one for me is the power of innovation.
Not being afraid to challenge the status quo.
Exactly. SpaceX's approach is really remarkable.
That rapid development cycle.
Their willingness to iterate and take risks.
They're not afraid to fail.
And they learn from those failures to improve.
It's really inspiring to see.
Shows what's possible when you set ambitious goals.
And refuse to be limited by old ways of thinking.
Absolutely.
Another takeaway is the potential for collaboration.
Between private companies and government agencies.
Like SpaceX and NASA working together on Artemis.
It's a new way of doing things.
Recognizing that space exploration isn't just about national pride anymore.
It's about economic growth, technology, the betterment of humanity.
And of course, we can't forget the big philosophical questions that Starship raises.
Yeah, those are important.
As we go further into space.
And think about living beyond Earth.
We have to face some fundamental questions.
About who we are.
Our place in the universe.
And the future of our species.
What does it even mean to be human in a multiplanetary context?
It's a big question.
What are our responsibilities to other planets?
What about the life forms we might find?
How will our values and beliefs change as we explore space?
It's a lot to consider.
But these questions are important.
They'll challenge us, inspire us, shape our journey.
This deep dive has been really eye-opening for me.
Me too. It's incredible to think about the possibilities.
We live in an amazing time.
A time of incredible progress.
And a renewed interest in exploring the unknown.
As SpaceX keeps pushing the boundaries.
Who knows what we'll discover?
Maybe evidence of past life on Mars.
Maybe new resources that could help us here on Earth.
Or something we haven't even imagined yet.
Something that changes everything we know about the universe.
It's exciting to think about.
The possibilities are endless.
That's what makes this journey so captivating.
So, to wrap things up,
Keep looking up at the stars.
keep asking questions.
Never lose your sense of wonder.
The future of space exploration is in our hands.
And it's a future filled with potential.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into SpaceX's Starship.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
Until next time, keep exploring.